Valencia City Safari, some Pokemon Go players stand near a fence. A pigeon walks away from us, and I touch a cow on the face. Hello and welcome everyone to Valencia City Safari. We finally made it in on a horrendous early flight and a little bit of tube jiggery-pokery, shall we say. But we're here now and we've got the stamp rally. It's my first ever time doing one of these stamp rallies for an event. Collect a few stamps from various different points. It's much like the Eevee research we got from stops. And our first check is not a shiny unknown, but I am very excited to give this one a go. Never been to Valencia before. Of course, where is that fabled donkey? We do have Sigilyth, which is a really cool shiny. In fact, we picked that up in LA, obviously, and Global Tour. But if we can grab one from here, it'll be excellent. We've, of course, got 4 different unknowns. We've got C, A, B, and V for the 5 different locations. If you don't know, Ian Waterfall from the Incense Podcast is also over in Amsterdam for this weekend, but we should be running into the likes of Jeroen and Nexton around here over the next couple of days, which is awesome. I mean, we're at the Station de Nord, which is one of the 3 little points that they've got a booth set up. Vanphy, it's a throwback to the road trip we had a little while ago, and honestly, we don't really need anything except for these Eevees. And the Eevee I've never been able to get from Barcelona in 2023, this time 2 years ago, and Milan earlier this year. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to claim my Dimax Moltres while we're here at this station. Let's get it with the tag for the City Safari. It's not shiny in 1455. I'm going to throw a few balls at it. Let's see what goes down. Sit in the ball. Beautiful. I'm sick. Breakfast. This Moltres is going to be really bad, but at least it has the tag for stuff. There's 2 Sigilyth. What did you get? Have you got your stamp? Is it somewhere here? Yeah, it's there. It actually highlights it. That's freaking cool. You stamp it. I'm going to check the Mudbray, though. This is why we want to be here. The Mudbray for the shiny. We still have loads of them from Milan with the tag. Let's get our first check of the Eevee in here. Boomph. Good stamp, if I do say so myself. That's from the Exploring Eevee Zativa. We came in on the tube and got to that stop. So let's see. Clay, this is really cool. I actually really like this. It makes you go around and explore. You've got a little postcard book. Claim.
Come on. Come on.
No shiny, and 434 is not going to be terribly good. 459 for the hundo, and if we don't get that shiny, seriously, something is wrong with these City Safari Eevees for me. Boom, beautiful background. Oh, with a castle in the background. That's actually a really nice background there for Valencia. What else is there? Feebas, it's usually a good one to go for, but I like that it notifies you and says where the nearest one is. Oh, we've got to spin a stop or gym in Valencia. Now, what I do need to do is get some 7Ks down, so bear with me. Sending off a gift to Barside because he's here as well. If we can get lucky friends with him, that'd be brilliant. Street, wow, that is a cool Pokestop, if I do say myself. The one that's the rocket stop has a freaking graffiti car on it. Where's that? Tell me where. That's a Starbucks, isn't it? Ian, are you jealous? So let's game an Incense. If you aren't interested, or you are interested, Incense Podcast is dropping episode 242 tomorrow or Sunday, the 28th, in time for the City Safari. Let's get it. Oh, it's an Eevee. Not shiny for me, but that's cool. We claim 1 from the research, I think, and then the others are 8 stamp rally. So technically we should get more than we did in the previous years. Bish Bash Bosh in for the weekend, out again on Sunday night. It's a thrill of a ride for this one. That's a 93, not too shabby. What's our first shiny going to be? Because, you know, double incense duration. Why the hell not? And we've got Candela there for, what are we going to do? Snapshot of Eevee walking and feed. I have actually saved a bunch of Psyduck with the swim rings in my research stack, so I can claim them and get them with this tag for the event, which I think is personally quite cool. The queue of people to check out that booth at the station is insane, but we have our first shiny of the event, and it's a Golden Clink, which is not new for me, but I know there'll be plenty of people over these City Safaris or who are not going to them would quite like these shinies. He's got his donkey. Do your best Shrek impersonation.
Yes.
This queue is insane. It's just never ending. I wouldn't be wasting my time with the City Safari. Seriously. I'm very pleased with shining them all, and we've whacked down Spatial Ren. I think we're Spatial Renning for today, and then we'll Roar of Time for tomorrow, because we may have a cheeky video collab with the one and only Alex Nexton in the works. Oh, come on, Sigilyth, not shiny. I love picking up, like, honestly, I think that's one of my favorite regionals, that and Tropius, and I hope Tropius comes to a City Safari soon that I can get to. We've come wandering through some kind of back passage. There's a Primark here, but more importantly, there's a Bull Museum. It delivered a Kecleon stop, but we do have, if I can find it, nope, that's an LGM, my bad, this Eevee stop. That's not it, I think. Other one, press. And I want maybe a faded stamp on this one. Let's go. I like that you can get that little differentiation. Claim reward. Not shiny, no surprise, and 439. 20 CP off the hundo. Whoa, the Eevee broke out. Bro, what are you doing? I really hope we can pick it up. Like, if not today, tomorrow. I can't get over how good that background is, actually. Let's spin that Eevee stop and get ourselves a gift. Done. Boom. The research is mixed, obviously, with the Dunsparce stuff, which is a shame. Duplicates coming in. Second golden clink of the day. So 2 shiny clink, no shiny of anything else. Also, who doesn't love Dwayne's t-shirt? Seriously, I know I have that. It's a good t-shirt. Clink, you're gonna be, oof, 0. Oh, there's a donkey though that ain't shiny. Then we finally decided we were gonna grab a coffee and something to nibble on, but we've got 3 City Safari research tasks here, and I'm interested to see what they're gonna give us. Clink for that one, that's 5 gifts, I don't want to be doing that anymore. This should be a Mudbray, remember 811 for the hundo of that one, so keep your eye on that number. That is a tight underground car park, oh my god. My Mazda would never get under there with a low ground clearance. Oof, Valencia, and this one's gonna be a Mudbray again. We have ourselves a coffee, we've nommed some breakfast, and the one thing we actually still need, I completely forgot, I don't have a shiny Unown V. Francesco's had one saved for me for the longest time. Unown V 786, and that's fantastic. Any V for the Dwayne?
For me.
Not for Dwayne. Is it? It's 1 star. Love it. But V Unown for Valencia. That's about right, being the first Unown, hopefully, of the whole weekend. What have we got going on? We need to take a snapshot of Eevee in Valencia. I'm sure we can do that wherever the bloody hell it's gone. We're going to put Eevee on the road here. No, we're not. The game's going to crash. On the back of the Italian getting his first Eevee of the weekend, we are going to try our stamp right here. Let's get this one. I think it's our 3rd stamp of the day, and that should be a fairly solid one. It's a nice blue stamp. Give us a damn Eevee. No shiny, unfortunately, and 435 is not going to be particularly good either. Confirming background, the clusters and everything. Oh, there's a V. Speaking of a V, actually, I've got something really cool to show you. While we were at the Pokemon Go booth right at the beginning of the day, we picked up a Nundo V. Crazy. Nundo Valencian V. Not a shiny, obviously, but that was completely random as it strikes 11:45. Right by a very stunning fountain. Look at this! It's a throwback to November last year. A huge shiny Mankey. Let's get that thing a Golden Raz. That's our 5th shiny, even though we are chasing Mudbray and Eevee and Unknowns. Any shinies are good, and I'll take it. And an XXL shiny at that if we ever get Mankey showcases again. Oh, it's the biggest Mankey we've ever seen. Fantastic. And it's a 1 star, but it's Valencian. It's a Spanish fighting monkey. Do we have anything interesting to check? I mean, genuinely, I wouldn't mind some Sandygast action. And we should have, 3 Mudbray checks, people. 1 is not shiny. I seem to remember it took a long time in Milan to get our Mudbray. This is not a shiny one. Oh, 800. And come on, let's check the final one. It isn't shiny. An 788. That is a bite with a roof. Look at that. What a way to travel. Keep finding somewhat interesting places to do these Eevee checks. We're stood outside of La Casa de Papa Noel, basically the house of Father Christmas. And we have our Eevee stamp here. Let's get it. And let's go for a faded one now. Purple, very nice. Let's get that one checked off and claim. Ooh, still not shiny Eevee and really bad. I think it's like 1 or 2 CP different to the last one. Usually Eevee plays nice with me. You guys who are regular to the channel know this. City Safari Eevee, for whatever reason, absolutely despises me. I would like to spin that and get the gift though. I got some quests. No shiny Mudbray still in 791. And check. Not shiny, unfortunately, and finally, there we go. 8 minutes past 12, and we've bagged ourselves a 1467 wild shiny Mudbray. Bing, bang, boom, fantastic. Shiny Mudbray 2-starer, but our first one, hopefully, of many from Valencia. And you've seen the clusters here are actually insane. We have got spatial rend down to really boost them, but you know, trying to pick out what you want from the cluster can be extremely difficult.
I got the bee!
You got the bee?
Yeah.
The bee I just caught. I also didn't clock that we're actually on top of yet another Eevee, so let's get our stamp done. Ooh, right. Green stamp for this one. Beautiful. I think that's very, very well stamped, if I do say so myself. While we're next to this graffiti, I don't know, somebody spray painting an orange on a woman. Not going to make any comments, Spain, on that, but ooh, no shiny. What a surprise. And I keep getting trash ones as well. Unbelievable. There we go. Boom. Barely scraping into the 3 stars. It is what it is. If you've been to one of these city safaris this weekend, let me know how it's gone. And of course, we've got Mega Camera Ups Raid Day tomorrow, which everyone's going to be able to partake in, including us. So I'm looking forward to that one. There's some kid and father back there who are very ecstatic with their back-to-back of Snorunt and Mudbray shinies. And I can say we've got a hat-trick of Clink. 481, fantastic. As if we needed any more of these, but hey, it's all good. It does slightly smell like the urinal on these back streets. 481 is going to be 0-star, glorious. Is there anything of interest? Yes, there's some Mudbrays, not shiny there. I want some shiny action, or even some V. There is a beautiful green shiny radioactive Stantler. I haven't seen a shiny Stantler in, I think, literally like 4 years or something insane. It never really spawns, never get the shiny, even with the Christmas costume on it. Having a deer over here, but there we go. 413 is going to be a 3-starer from the wild. Fantastic. And no shiny Mudbray. And no shiny Mudbray. What about you? Not shiny. Oh, the unknown bee over there, not blue. Oh, and there's a Sigilyth over there, not shiny. Honestly, just walking around these streets, you can just shiny check and admire. It's not gold this time. Oh, there's a smash. Once again, I completely forgot that we're actually here on top of an Eevee stamp, and I'm going to do this one. A nice orange one next to there's a baby and water.
There's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, no.
Where's Spider-Man? And get Spider-Man in the background.
Oh.
This is one for the backgrounders there. Hello. People have found me. Anyway, let's check out Eevee. No shiny and 4. Spider-Man, you let me down, bruh. We've got 3 Mudbray checks here, so let's see if we're going to get anything from them at all. Apparently there's Sigilyth dust around here, which revolve a Pokemon that is not related to the Dunsparce event. Check 2 ain't going to be shiny, unfortunately. And no shiny, unfortunately, on that one. Sigilyth? No shiny. I haven't heard of anybody getting that shiny yet, so I don't know if they're not particularly boosted. Trying to scope tasks is tricky. It's so clustered and crazy here. And we have an Evolve a Pokemon task. That's beautiful. I'm slowly losing the crew I was with. It's the plight of being a content creator. You keep stopping endlessly to film. That ticks off. Boom, Sigilyth task that's not shiny, unfortunately. The game crashed as I was trying to do an Eevee stop here, but we have got, I'd say, a rather magnificent backdrop if we can get an angle somewhere. Low angle. There you go, nice building. And let's get, apparently a Bidoof. Yeah, let's do that. Give me the Smoliv. And here we go, finally. I think this is our penultimate stamp of the day. It's a green one. Oh, that's a cute one. We've literally got one more chance after this today. Please. No. This thing hates me really badly. I've been blinded and roasted by the sun here, but I'll take that over anything else. So this is our final stamp of today. For the love of God, don't tell me we're going to 3 city safaris and getting nothing. Final stamp, please. No. Everything's been awful as well. Seriously, I'm gonna actually, if I don't get it tomorrow, that'll be literally the end of it. To be fair to this Pokemon, I haven't had the shiny of it in a hell of a long time. Shiny, crabby, and that was definitely not a misclick. I'm just literally clicking anything and everything today, so we'll get it caught. Cool stuff, it's new. It ticks off the total for the day. As this is the question, 1 star. That's just splendid. No Mudbray, which is the all-important one, or an unknown, or a Sigilyth, or an 8, no. just picked up the best shiny of the entire City Safari. It's a Bidoof. Let's freaking go. 312 on the CP. In fact, there's Ultra Ball because, of course, it is the supreme Pokemon. This 2-star, absolutely love it. And Mudbray is not shiny. We have finally grabbed ourselves our second shiny Mudbray of this City Safari. 826 in the wild, I will say. Research has delivered 0 joy, but that does mean we have a family completed, and I'd love to get as many as possible. Considering it's so exclusive and rare, we've definitely utilized them for lucky trades and things like that. So, my game crashes just at that moment. It is struggling, even with a phone fan. 826 shiny Mudbray, and boom, 0-star. Fantastically good stuff. I can reconnect the Go++, and 5 normal type. No. Oh, there's a Kecleon. We've seen quite a few Kecleon around at these stops, actually. Let's get you off the Pokestop, my friend. And bang, not blue stripe. I don't know what this park is called that we've been walking alongside, but it kind of runs all the way around Valencia. Apparently it used to be a river, but it's delivered a Mudbray shiny once again, an Allured 902 CP. Hey, kind of like a diarrhea brown color, so there isn't a Pokeball that matches that. Let's see, 902 is gonna be 1 star. That is fantastic. I'm stood under a bridge hatching some 7 kilometer event eggs, which have Sigilyth in them, which is real nice, all goomy, and I've heard clink, and it should have Mudbray in there, but it's a Sigilyth. I should really try and get through these 7 kilometer event eggs a little bit more, I've got to be honest. But Sigilyth, 3 out of the 6, not too shabby at all. And 2 Mudbray, but no shiny. But there's a Mudbray outside the park that's not brown. We are lucky friends with Dwayne, and quite rightly, he's wearing the very shirt that we're going to hand over the Pokemon of. Of course. Obviously, this is a background shiny Psyduck, which I think was caught on the 24-hour challenge, actually, so this is quite cool to hand over. And he's very kindly handing over a background London road trip Pikachu, which... Yeah, easiest trade ever. We're just trying... Oh, we've got 5 special trades today. Nice. Well, let's find out, dude, if it's going to go very well. Fingers crossed for you, my man, because...
There's a background.
It's wild spawn, so no idea. Oh, 96. So that is hella close.
Thank you very much.
That's real good. Ours slightly died, unfortunately, but that's a lucky trade for you. But hey, it means I can hand over more. So I appreciate that. Did we go? I don't think back-to-back lucky friends, but it is what it is. Appreciate that, my man.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Successfully checked into the hotel and now having a very small bite to eat and a bit of rehydration, which is very much needed considering how hot it is out there. It's 29 degrees Celsius. I'm loving it. I checked my storage and I had eggs go off without the animation because that's what happens when you quick catch. We hatched this Clink, then this Mudbray, a Goomy, a Mudbray, and then a shiny Sigilyth, which has come from Reading, which I think is Angus's gift from the Patreon squad. So dude, thank you very much for the Sigilyth luck. That's awesome. Slightly irritating because I would have loved to have had the shiny hatch and reaction on camera. My game's suddenly become very glitchy, but as you can see, we're here at the, I think it's the Habaneras, which is one of the spots where you can come and collect your individual stamps, which are over here with the stamp rally. That's actually like a physical thing with cards and stuff, which honestly is a really cool thing. But I've got the best shiny. It's a Feebas of 177. It's about time we picked up one of these with this City Safari event, so let's get that caught with a blue ball, because it's more blue than yellow, let's say that. Feebas is going to be a 1-starer. And we do have a few Mudbray around here, but look, you can see Valencia Game City, that's where we're at now. And we might as well check a bit of Sandygast action. I've seen people getting their shinies and stuff, which is really cool, but no fanfare there. We're just doing a little bit of official photography stuff, which is really cool. So around here, still at the game center, and check this out. We couldn't get the egg hatch sparkles, but we got a wild shiny Sigilyth, which is a really nice throwback and callback to LA earlier this year. And I will say, folks, for Tour 2026, I think we're venturing to LA again. We're gonna get that thing locked in. Fantastic, it's in the ball. Hit that subscribe button and throw a like on the video if you haven't done so already. Greatly appreciated. 621's gonna be weather boosted 2-star. It could be worse, frankly. Lucky trade. That's a tiny little Pikachu all the way from The Hague. We're sending Mark over a nice London background shiny Pikachu. Very best of luck. And thanks for the tiny shiny's fantastic.
You get the XLR.
Yeah, Francesco got the giant one, I got the tiny one. Let's go. I got the same number as Francesco.
Ready?
It's about the same, but thank you, mate. That's lovely. We're still here at the game centre. We've met a few people. Shout out to the 2 chaps, actually, and Milo from Poland. Thanks very much for coming up and grabbing a photo. It was lovely to have a chat and meet you guys. But check it out, we've actually got a different unknown, and finally it's an unknown B for where JT Valor's disappeared off to. Bangkok. Fantastic. It's a 0-star, but that's absolutely fine. 982. See if we can tick off any more shinies, because in Milan, we were able to tick off every single shiny that was available with the event, like one of each, which was quite extraordinary. It's time to put the shades back on, people, but look at that. It's a Nuevo shiny for the weekend. That is an Archon. I know we've had plenty of them over the course of, I think, both Go Fest, and they had a Catch Mastery event not that long ago. Well, probably like 6 months ago. But it's cool. It ticks it off, as I said, like the B for the weekend. We have one Archon with a Valencia tag. It's beautiful, and it's 1-star windy boost. Mudbray on the... Oh, back to back with a Mudbray. Now that's what I'm talking about, people. 10:30 is about when we started playing the event, to be honest. Come on. I would have loved to have seen that on the beach background we had a few hours ago, but shiny Sandygast is such a sick shiny, and it's another Nuevo shiny for the weekend. So let's give that the Ultra Ball, which is about bang on in terms of the color palette, to be honest. Good to tick it off, and I think we have about 52 minutes left or so. That, oh, there's the beach biome. And just as we were talking about having shinies on beach backgrounds, there we go. Shiny LGM. That again is a Nuevo shiny for the weekend that we've got here in Valencia, and I can't remember the last time I think I actually lost my last shiny LGM due to the AR glitch itself. It's a windy boosted one, so it's, oh my freaking god, 93? Come on. Gave me a small heart attack then. I thought the bars were going all the way to full. This is ridiculous. This is literally 30 seconds later and we've got ourselves a Goomy shiny, which is another new one for the weekend. I think I might save all my Eevee stamps until tomorrow evening before the event finishes, genuinely. Like, save them for the afternoon. Clearly, that's when we're having better RNG. We're just next, I think, the Science Museum. They're making our way over to the shopping centre, our final stop off, really. 811, you may remember from earlier in the video, that is a Hundo Mudbray, people. Never got one in Milan. Thankfully, did a ton of trades with Marta to get the 100%er, but that is an organic Valencian Hundo Mudbray. And yes, I cannot see where I'm going, but it's fine. Let's freaking go. Hundo Valencia Mudbray. You can see this is where the road trip took place, around just over there. And this is now the shopping center. Oh my god, I can actually see again. How on earth you're meant to spot Pokemon in this cluster? Look at that mess. It's insane. How do you tackle something like this? See the gyms at the front there, look, it's just endless. I tell you, the last hour has been insane. We've picked up yet another one that's fresh for the weekend. This is a shiny Snorunt, and I am going to blue ball it, I think. While we're actually here at the Pokemon GO booth that's set up there. But as you've seen, the cluster here is insane. The list of gyms over there is insane. And more importantly, it's cooler in here than it is outside. But we'll take the Snorunt. It's a female shiny though, which I've never got a shiny Frostlass evolved. What do I need? There's definitely something Smoliv I need to tick off for the weekend. That would be something great if I can click him, and Clauncher. It's literally just ticked over to 6 p.m. right now. I've been chatting with the likes of Jerome and Pogo Traveler and everything, but just as it ticked over to 6, these 4 7-kilometer event eggs have finally decided to pop. So there's a Goomy, which you just saw we had a shiny of from the sandy beach. There's another Goomy that's not a shiny. What's this one going to be? It's a Clink. Glorious. And our final egg of day 1, actually, it's not a final egg, so we've got one in storage, I think. It's a Mudbray that's not particularly good. But that is that, I'm afraid. I would say day 1's been really good. It's much like every City Safari we've done. Really good, except for the Eevee. Before we check the shiny total for today's day 1 of City Safari, a big thanks as always to every single person who's part of the Patreon squad, some of whom we saw today over the course of the journey and everything like that. Thank you so very much for taking your support to the next level, and welcome to a couple of new members as well. Really appreciate you jumping on the Patreon, because it means things like this are possible. We wouldn't actually be here in Valencia were it not thanks to your extra support. And actually a big thanks to everyone who's hit that subscribe button and checked out the videos, of course, but a big appreciation for everyone on the rolling credits here. And now we can wrap up for day 1 of City Safari Valencia as he's checking out the Pokemon Go social videos. We actually got, I think, 26 shinies today, which isn't too bad at all considering the range of what we got. However, as I said, the big crux of the weekend is still no Eevee City Safari costume, hat, whatever. This is the 3rd one. I'm really hoping it pulls in tomorrow, which we'll wait and find out. We picked up a Mankey, a Krabby, a Sunken, 3 unknowns, 1 B and 2 Vs, which is 2 Stantler, the Feebas, Snorunt, a Bidoof, 2 Sigilyth, 1 was an egg hatch, 1 was in the wild, the Archon, triple Clink somehow, that insanely good 93 LGM shiny, 2 Goomy, and then 5 Mudbray shinies, and of course the Research 100%er, and ending with that Sandy Gas. So honestly, I'm very content with the day. We will add the extra catch, which is of course, as you saw earlier, the Nundo Unknown V. Very good pull. And I will quickly say, the Stamp Rally version of this City Safari with the Eevee stops and everything, honestly, fantastic addition, and that really doesn't take away from the Eevee Pokestops themselves. They still look the same, you can still spin them, they still have the Eevee with the Explorer hat on them, absolutely awesome, but you get a Stamp Rally collection, and that's how you get your encounters. I think it's such a good implementation of the system into an event like this, and I hope they continue doing that. It was really, really nice. I also hope you keep the booklet, to be honest. I'm not sure if you keep the stamps, but fingers crossed you can keep a track of everything. But I will say that's going to wrap up today's adventure, and if you like what you saw, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below and sticking around, because of course we've got the whole of day 2, and trust me, we're going ham for that, and we have Mega Camera Ups raid day in the midst of it too. And of course we're flying home at 9 p.m. tomorrow evening as well, so it's going to be a very quick, fast weekend. But if you like what you saw, don't forget you can check out some of the videos available here on the channel. If you want to have a look back at Milan, please go ahead and do so. That was a fantastic City Safari, beautiful location and great catches as well. And maybe check out that video as well if you so please. But I will say, until the next time folks, do take care.